Good morning, Cedar Park, and welcome back to the Wolfcast Live. Today is Wednesday, January 24th, and it's an A-Day. On today's show, get a behind-the-scenes look into what it took to put together the CPHS's new sign.
Plus, what's next in the Republican primary for president in this morning's brief.
Also, find out what our hosts have to say about the latest trend with children using Sephora products on an all-new Pack Chat.
Turn it up because the Wolfcast starts now. Good morning, Cedar Park, and welcome back to the Wolfcast. I'm Kira Cox, and I'm here this morning with Reed Cummins and Lulu Lynch.
The face of Cedar Park is being forever changed thanks to help from some of our very own welding students.
Some of CP's very own welding students worked for more than a year creating this new sign.
Reporter Millie Suarez looked into what went into the process and what other organization made it possible. Millie.
Thanks, Kira. The outdated marquee sign in front of CPHS has run its course and had also not worked in several years, and finally changes here. A few years ago, the PTSA noticed the sign in front of the school is just not cutting it and wanted to renovate it for a large sum of money. Instead, it was decided that the project was to be given to very talented welders here at school. Though very talented, obstacles were given, as student Mason Casel tells us more.
The biggest challenge would definitely be on the design part of it, making the backing, just because we had to make all the panels first for like the letters or the wolf head, and then we had to make a way to secure that to the brick wall.
After several generations of students working on the project, these fresh eyes are now helping finish up what got started. Matthew Muller says how grateful he is to have this hands-on experience.
This sign outside was looking pretty old, so we decided to do some renovations. Seeing all of it come together is pretty cool, so yeah.
In addition, the base of the sign was put up on November 17th, as the wolf heads were put up almost a month after. This light-up sign is the first step to beautifying CPHS as the community admires this piece of artwork from the road. Thanks so much to all our welding students for their hard work. With CPHS News, reporting for the Wolfcast, I'm Millie Suarez.
Thanks, Millie.
Also, just a friendly reminder for sophomores, juniors, and seniors to be checking your email. District Technology is sending out emails for those who need to change their passwords.
Make sure to follow the instructions in the email to complete this change. And if you did not receive this email, then you are good to go and you can disregard this announcement.
Again, if you received this email, make sure to change your password by Thursday.
Now it's time for a check of this morning's headlines with Charles Corson in today's brief. Charles?
Thanks, Reed, and good morning, Cedar Park. First, former President Trump is celebrating after winning the Republican presidential primary in New Hampshire and is now ramping up attacks against competitor Nikki Haley. The New Hampshire primaries have been known to make or break candidates. Because of this, many people watch for the results to come in. In the end, Trump had the most votes, receiving 54.9% of the votes, with Haley in second at 43.5% of the votes. After the governor congratulated Trump on his victory, he responded by criticizing Haley for staying in the race. On the Democratic side, in first place was President Joe Biden, followed by Dean Phillips. Next, teen birth rate in Texas is up for the first time in 15 years. As of 2022, Texas teen fertility rates increased following the 6-week abortion ban implemented a year earlier. According to a report by the University of Houston, overall fertility rates increased by 2%, but the biggest increase was found in Hispanic women ages 25 through 44, whose fertility rate increased 8%. A University of Houston director speculates that this may lead to an increase in poverty rates due to these mothers not being able to afford taking care of another child. Texas is just one of several other states that saw an increase in fertility over 2022. Finally, FAFSA rollout has been repeatedly delayed, and the worst might be yet to come for students. FAFSA applications are filled out by 17 million students every year in order to gain financial aid for college. This year, however, the form was delayed by 3 months and actually has the possibility of giving students less financial aid than they should. Many students also complained about things such as only being able to access it for a limited time and having to wait long periods of time in waiting rooms. The form is now open to all students at any given time. However, the risk of getting less aid than you should still stands. How would y'all feel if you were a senior?
I wouldn't be too happy, and thankfully the three of us have 2 more years, but my brother's a senior right now, and so I heard like him and my mom like trying to fill it out, waiting, it was down, it was back up, it was down, it was like a whole string of
Yeah, I know, and I read that it was like 3 months that it was delayed. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's like a really long time for something that important to be delayed, I feel like. I would be
especially the people who like rely on it.
Yeah, I think at the 2.5 month stretch, I'm like freaking out.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, I don't know what to do anymore.
Hopefully they kind of patch that up and get
yeah.
that rolled out well. Thanks, Charles. Up next, our Pack Check segment. But first, here's a word from our sponsor.
Welcome back to the Pack Chat, our Student Voice Opinion segment. I'm your host, Millie Suarez, joined by co-hosts Austin Makaborski, Molly Pinkerton, and guest Everett Taylor as we discuss this week's most trending topics. Let's get started. First, the fall of group chats have been highlighted by a Cosmopolitan article discussing how they were more popular to use during the pandemic era. The article mentions how group chats have taken a dark path from just a communicative aspect and is now used as a way to spread drama and cause annoyance amongst your peers. On the other hand, some people have seen to simply just get bored of the chats and leave or go ghost. So, do you guys think we should be using group chats more, and what are some do's and don'ts regarding them?
I use group chats every day. That's like my main source of communication with my friends, because it's kind of hard to text my friends like individually, like every time we have plans. But like, I think
Well, I'm gonna have to agree with you. I use group chats for sports and like to communicate with that, and like there's clubs that always use group chats, and I'm really just gonna have to disagree with the article.
Yeah, there's also subgroup chats. Like I have group chats with like my friends in my classes, and then with my friends in those classes, but my friends' friends. You know what I mean?
What about you?
Mostly in my group chats, it's not really organized at all. It's just randomly texting. Sometimes it's never like important, so I'd have to disagree. I'd much rather like text one person if I want information. Really? But honestly, group chats are fun because it's just a bunch of people. It's like you're hanging out with people.
What would you guys say are some do's or don'ts in group chats?
I feel like bullying in a group chat is like I always like sometimes like my friends all like gang up on me and they all like I do something and they're all like Molly. I'm just like, okay, like, you know.
Well, what did you say?
Well, it doesn't matter.
Okay, guys. Next up, the company CG's Dairy is offering $10,000 to someone who can live without their phone for a whole month. The challenge is a spin on Dry January, but instead of alcohol, this challenge reflects on teens who are addicted to their devices with the goal of living a simpler life with fewer distractions. Those who want to participate will also have to write a 100 to 500 word essay explaining how this will benefit them. So, do you guys think you'd be able to overcome a challenge like this? And is there an appropriate amount of time to win that much money?
Okay, being realistic here, I think a month I could do. I could do a month. Okay, maybe not a year, but maybe without your phone for a month, I can do that.
The thing about this sort of phone detox is like, really, I feel like I would need to do this because it kind of I feel like a lot of students are dependent on their phone
all the time.
We know.
Okay. But the thing about this challenge is they give you a flip phone.
Yeah.
So I feel like that would like I could do it.
Yeah, because you could just write down your friend's number. You gotta just do a little preparation.
You can talk to your friends still. Like you can call. Like you don't.
That's what I use my phone for most. Like I just need a call. I just need FaceTime.
I would just get like my social media apps. I would feel like I'm missing out, even though I'm really not. But it just kind of feels like
Absolutely.
that. Social media just makes me feel like so like.
Yeah, one time I didn't have my phone for like 6 months, and I was like so out of touch with like social media, and I was just I just became a little corny, and that's okay. Finally, Sephora children ranging ages 6 through 12 are taking social media by storm. Many people, as well as dermatologists and parents, have been clowning the children and often blame the parents for allowing the use of overpriced and harsh skincare and makeup and indulging in the purchases. On the other hand, parents will defend their children, expressing how they are just little girls, but these little girls have very little patience for the other guests and employees at stores like Sephora.
Elephant section in
there. Where's the glow recipe?
It's over there in the back right corner.
Can you show me?
Yeah. Sorry guys, I just had to help her.
Sorry, where is the Rare Beauty blush?
It's right here.
What about Happy? Do you have Happy?
We're all out of Happy, but that's a really popular shade.
Why?
It's a popular shade, like a lot of people get it.
So what were y'all doing at age 10? And do you think kids should be partaking in products as harsh and advanced as this?
Well, you know, I feel like I have a couple things to say about this. I haven't I'm not really big in the makeup scene. But whenever I was 10, I was, you know, riding my bike, kind of like playing outside. You know those like, those games you play outside. But I feel like it's kind of damaging as like when a girl is growing up. I think it's kind of damaging to just like her like self-esteem and like the way she looks at herself. Whenever they're like kind of forced into a way to like put on makeup, and makeup is like, sure, it's a way of self-expression, and as a little girl, you might want to like put on makeup to look like one of your Disney princesses, but I think it's like makeup's like kind of like for more adult things, and it's like shows like your blush cheeks and then like your red lips. Like I don't think that's needed more in a 10-year-old's life.
Yeah, I have a sister who's 10, and she's not a Sephora 10-year-old, thank goodness, but she is into makeup, and honestly, I just feel like she's too young, and I kind of feel bad because she's just, I think it's too young. I think the perfect age for makeup is probably when you're like turn 13 or something.
Yeah, absolutely. That's when, sorry, I'll go first.
Okay.
That's when I started wearing makeup when I was like 13. And makeup, I get like when you're a kid, like I was like so obsessed with makeup, but I am grateful like that my parents like didn't let me like go too far into that, because it's really, it is for more mature people, but makeup is obviously about self-expression, but there's a time and a place, and kids it's also about kids needing to stay in their childhood. Like it's about kids like, I don't know how to say it, wanting to grow up too fast.
Bouncing off of that, as like kind of like a fatherhood perspective, like if I had a daughter and then I saw her getting into more makeup stuff like when she's young, I would be really like, I would be fearful for her because of the type of like maybe predators she would attract from that, because they're like totally, that's like a threat, you know what I mean? Like not like she's trying to attract that, but like they're like, I'm not kidding, it's
no,
serious.
I agree. I don't agree. Okay, we're wrapping it up. All right, and that's all for today, but remember, T-Wolfpack, there's always time to chat. We'll be right back after this break.
Next, this week's pet of the week is Ben Aker's dog, Buddy. Buddy is a 2-year-old super mutt who likes to play fetch indoors and enjoys waking up his family for midnight treats. He also loves sitting next to the fire to warm himself up. If you'd like your pet to be featured on Pet of the Week, direct message us on our Instagram account @CPHS News, or tweet us your videos and a short bio of your pet.
And that's today's Wolfcast. Thank you for taking the time to join us during your den.
You can catch anything you missed and more on our X, YouTube, or TikTok at CPHS News.
Join us tomorrow for a look into the preparation of the upcoming robotics competition, info on the ASL Club revival, and an all-new T-Wolf Spotlight. With CPHS News, I'm Lulu Lynch.
I'm Reed Cummins.
And I'm Kira Cox. Remember to make it a great day or not, the choice is yours.